Hello everyone, this is Sans. In this video, I will be analyzing Square stock and the company's business model. I will be providing the reasons why Square is a good buy right now. So let's get straight into the analysis. It's the 3rd of January today, and Square stock is at $217 a share. It has decreased from a high of $243 on December 22nd to $217, which is a pullback of more than 10%. Let's go over some aspects of Square's business now. Square has two ecosystems, the seller and the Cash App. Square has had considerable growth in the seller segment, and this includes managed payments and the point of sale services. Through the Cash App, there are P2P transactions. Customers can also purchase stocks or Bitcoin. From the investor presentation, we can have a look at the increase in gross profit over the last 5 years. The compound annual growth rate has been 40% over the previous 5 years. There is a big opportunity for Square as the market for sellers is more than $100 billion, and for individuals it is more than $60 billion. There is significant scope for growth as Square has only penetrated less than 3% of the market for sellers and less than 2% of the market for individuals. From the 10K statement, we can see that there has been strong growth in the Square Capital segment. The capital originations have increased from 1.2 billion in 2017 to 2.3 billion in 2019. Here Square is basically providing loans to the sellers, and it is also adjusting the loan fees and terms based on the credit worthiness of the seller. At Cathie Wood's ARK investment, Square has a weightage of 5.29% in the portfolio of the ETF ARKK. Earlier, Square had an even higher weightage, but recently CRISPR and Roku have increased in price. ARK believes that Square's Cash App has the potential to become a leading financial services provider. If they're able to monetize 20% of the user base in the US, at the level of traditional banks, then even with modest growth in its seller business, Square can return as much as 19% annually over the next 5 years. This would result in the share price of the company rising from $150 to $375 per share in 2025. Well, the price has already increased from 150 to 217, but we still have an upside of more than 70% as we get to the target price of 375. There are certain assumptions in this model, and this includes Square's sellers business expanding and growing revenues at an annual rate of 19% till 2025. Now I will play a short video of Cathie Wood about her thoughts related to Square.
In terms of learning about these ecosystems and learning the competitive advantages that both PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App have relative to banks. So in the case of Square, I just love it because it is really enabling, the lower income strata of this economy, anywhere from the lower income to the highest income. But really, it's much more meaningful to the unbanked. And if you look at where Cash App...
Through the Cash App, there can be direct deposits made. There's also a safe platform for investing in Bitcoin. Customers can also make free transfers from the US to the UK. There is also integration with Square sellers. It is also expected that in the future, Square will be providing various services that are comparable to traditional banks. This includes personal loans, credit cards, mortgage, and insurance. There are also network effects that are associated with the peer-to-peer payments network of Cash App. This provides the company with a significant competitive advantage in comparison to traditional banks and the private bank startups. The P2P payments network has decreased the customer acquisition cost while also increasing retention rate. An important factor to note is that for the peer-to-peer payment applications, The utility of the networks increases as an exponential function of the total number of people on the network. Square has diversified sources of revenue, which includes transaction-based revenue, subscriptions, services, hardware revenue, and Bitcoin revenue. A factor to note is that there has been a considerable increase in the Bitcoin revenue from 2019 to 2020. In fact, the increase in Bitcoin revenue has been more than 10 times. It is also expected that with the rise in Bitcoin prices in 2021, there will be further increase in Bitcoin revenue for Square, and this is a positive sign for the company. If we have a look at the figures from June 30, 2020, we can see that the Bitcoin revenue is 875,456 on June 30, 2020. These figures are in thousands. This is increased to 1,633,764 in September of 2020. This shows that the value has doubled in just 3 months. The number of monthly active users on Cash App has increased from 5 million in 2017 to more than 30 million in 2020 Q3. The gross payment volume has also increased from about 14 billion in 2016 to more than 30 billion in 2020. Overall, Square stock is a buy right now. The potential Bitcoin revenue in the future is a major strength of the company. In addition, the coronavirus pandemic has accelerated the shift from cash to digital forms of payment. The Cash App will be providing a better and more personalized user experience than traditional banks, and this will also be at a much lower cost. There is considerable scope for an increase in the share price of Square. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the content, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you would like regular updates on stocks.